Welcome to Just Listen Books channel. Immerse yourself in the world of literature as we summarize books and deliver them in audio form. Perfect for your car rides, travels, and daily activities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, by Angela Duckworth, is a compelling book that delves into the qualities that contribute to high levels of success. Duckworth, a psychologist and researcher, presents the concept of grit as a combination of passion and perseverance, arguing that it is a key driver of success, perhaps even more so than talent. Here's a chapter-by-chapter summary of the book. Introduction. Duckworth introduces the concept of grit, which she defines as a blend of passion and perseverance. She shares personal anecdotes and insights from her research to explain why grit is so essential to achieving one's goals. Chapter 1. Showing Up. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth delves into the foundational role that perseverance plays in achieving success. She begins by challenging the conventional wisdom that innate talent is the primary driver of success, instead positing that the often overlooked virtue of perseverance is equally, if not more, important. Duckworth introduces the concept of showing up as the first critical step in any successful endeavor. She argues that before talent, intelligence, or skill can play their parts, an individual must first commit to simply being present and engaging with their goals. This commitment to showing up day after day is what sets the stage for the hard work and dedication that characterize gritty individuals. The chapter emphasizes that success is not a result of sporadic bursts of effort or flashes of brilliance, but rather the culmination of consistent, persistent effort over time. Duckworth uses compelling stories and examples from her research to illustrate how individuals from various fields have achieved remarkable outcomes not because they were the most talented, but because they were the most committed to their pursuits. She introduces the idea of effort as a currency. It's not just about putting in time, but about investing effort with purpose and direction. This effort compounds over time, leading to skill development and, ultimately, achievement. A significant portion of the chapter is dedicated to debunking the myth of the natural, someone who achieves effortlessly. Duckworth argues that this myth can be harmful because it discourages persistence and hard work, leading individuals to give up too soon on their pursuits. She stresses that the difference between successful individuals and others often lies not in their raw talent, but in their willingness to keep going, especially when progress is slow and challenging. To further her argument, Duckworth presents research findings that show a weak correlation between talent and success in the long term. Instead, she suggests that measures of perseverance, such as grit scores, are better predictors of success in various domains, from education to business to the arts. The chapter concludes with a powerful message. Success is accessible to anyone willing to show up and persist in their efforts. Duckworth calls for a shift in focus from searching for innate talent to developing perseverance and resilience. She encourages readers to embrace the challenges and setbacks they encounter as opportunities for growth and learning, reinforcing the idea that showing up and putting in the work is the first and most crucial step toward achieving one's goals. Chapter 2. Distracted by Talent. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth addresses the common but misleading emphasis on innate talent as the key to success. She argues that this overemphasis not only undervalues the role of effort and perseverance, grit, but also can be detrimental to personal growth and achievement. Duckworth starts by exploring the societal fascination with talent, noting how people are often more impressed by those who seem to achieve effortlessly than by those who succeed through hard work. She suggests that this bias towards talent is pervasive in culture, education, and even in professional settings, where individuals are frequently judged based on perceived natural abilities rather than their capacity for sustained effort and improvement. One of the central points Duckworth makes is that the talent-centric view can lead to a fixed mindset, as described by psychologist Carol Dweck. This mindset assumes that abilities are innate and immutable, discouraging individuals from putting in the effort to develop skills or overcome challenges. In contrast, a growth mindset, which values effort and learning, is more conducive to long-term success and personal fulfillment. Duckworth presents research and stories illustrating that while talent may contribute to early advantages in various endeavors, it is not a reliable predictor of long-term success. She cites studies showing that grittier individuals often achieve higher levels of success than their more naturally talented but less persistent counterparts. The chapter also discusses how an overfocus on talent can lead to missed opportunities for growth. When achievements are attributed solely to talent, the importance of effort, strategy, and improvement is overlooked. This perspective can discourage people from pursuing challenges, taking risks, and ultimately, from reaching their full potential. Duckworth argues for a recalibration of values, where perseverance, dedication, and continuous improvement are given more recognition and value than mere innate ability. She advocates for a cultural shift that celebrates hard work, resilience, and the kind of passion that commits to long-term goals despite obstacles. Furthermore, Duckworth points out that recognizing the importance of grit over talent does not just benefit individuals in their personal growth and achievements, but also has broader implications for how talent is identified, nurtured, and developed in educational institutions, organizations, and society at large. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth challenges readers to reconsider their own biases towards talent and to reflect on the ways in which an overemphasis on innate ability may have influenced their expectations for themselves and others. She invites readers to embrace a more grit-oriented approach to success, emphasizing that with enough perseverance and passion, overcoming the limitations perceived through a talent-focused lens is possible. Chapter 3. Effort Counts Twice. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth introduces a compelling argument about the quantification of achievement and the significant role that effort plays in this equation. She outlines a simple but profound formula that captures the essence of how effort acts as a multiplier in the process of achieving success. This formula serves to further debunk the myth that talent alone is sufficient for achievement, underscoring instead the critical importance of sustained effort. Duckworth presents the formula as follows. 1. Talent, x effort. Skill. 2. Skill x effort. Achievement. The first part of the formula suggests that talent, defined as the speed at which a person can learn with effort, is indeed important because it combines with effort to develop skill. However, talent without effort is essentially unmanifested potential. The second part of the formula then takes this concept further by stating that skill, no matter how impressive, only translates into achievement when it is paired with effort. In this way, Duckworth highlights that effort counts twice in the journey towards success, once in the development of skill and again in the use of that skill to achieve. By emphasizing effort as a crucial component of this formula, Duckworth aims to shift the focus from a fixed attribute, talent, to a dynamic process, effort leading to skill and achievement. She argues that this perspective not only offers a more accurate representation of how success is achieved, but also empowers individuals by suggesting that their destiny is not predetermined by their innate abilities, but rather shaped by their ongoing commitment and hard work. Throughout the chapter, Duckworth supports her formula with research findings and real-life examples of individuals who have achieved remarkable success through persistence and dedicated effort, rather than relying solely on their natural talents. These stories serve to illustrate how adopting a grittier approach, valuing and putting in effort, can lead to significant improvements in skill and, consequently, notable achievements. Duckworth also addresses potential criticisms of the formula, acknowledging that while talent and initial interest play roles in determining the direction of one's efforts, they are not the final determinants of success. Instead, she stresses the accessibility of achievement through consistent and focused effort, regardless of one's starting point in terms of talent. The chapter concludes with a call to action for readers to apply this understanding of effort's role in achievement to their own lives. Duckworth encourages embracing challenges, persisting in the face of setbacks, and continually striving to improve, all in service of transforming effort into skill and, ultimately, into tangible achievements. This approach not only demystifies the process of achieving success, but also democratizes it, suggesting that with enough effort, achieving one's goals is within reach for anyone willing to work hard. Chapter 4. How gritty are you? In this chapter, Angela Duckworth introduces readers to the grit scale, a self-assessment tool she developed to measure an individual's level of grit. This chapter not only provides the means for readers to gauge their own grittiness, but also delves into the significance of their scores and how grit relates to success in various aspects of life. The Grit Scale. The Grit Scale is a questionnaire that consists of statements related to perseverance, passion for long-term goals, and consistency of interests over time. Respondents rate themselves on these statements to obtain a score that reflects their level of grit. The scale is designed to measure two dimensions of grit. 1. Consistency of interest. How long one can maintain interest in a set of goals. 2. Perseverance of effort. The ability to maintain effort towards these goals despite challenges and setbacks. Duckworth emphasizes that both dimensions are essential components of grit. A high score on the grit scale indicates not only the ability to work hard, but also the tendency to stick with one's commitments for the long term. Implications of grit scores. Duckworth discusses the implications of one's grit scale score, cautioning readers against seeing it as a fixed measure of their character. Instead, she suggests that grit is a trait that can be developed over time. High scores on the grit scale are associated with various forms of success, including academic achievement, success in challenging professions, and the accomplishment of personal goals. Through analysis and anecdotes, Duckworth shows that individuals with high levels of grit are more likely to persist in their endeavors, facing obstacles and failures as opportunities for growth rather than reasons to give up. She argues that this resilience is what sets apart highly successful individuals in all fields, from education to business to the arts. Relation to success. Duckworth further explores how grit relates to success, drawing on her research and other psychological studies. She finds that grit often predicts success more reliably than talent or IQ, especially in challenging and competitive contexts. Gritty individuals are those who have learned to pursue their long-term goals with a type of passion that does not wane in the face of difficulties. This chapter also addresses the concern that too much grit could lead to stubbornness or an inability to abandon unattainable goals. Duckworth acknowledges this possibility, but argues that truly gritty individuals are not just stubborn. They are adaptable and capable of reevaluating their methods and strategies while remaining committed to their overarching objectives. Developing grit. Finally, Duckworth touches on the potential for developing grit. She suggests that understanding one's current level of grit is the first step toward fostering this quality. Throughout the book, and particularly in this chapter, she offers insights into how individuals can cultivate both perseverance and passion, thus increasing their grittiness over time. This chapter not only provides a tool for self-assessment, but also sets the stage for the rest of the book, which delves into strategies for building grit. By inviting readers to assess their own levels of grit, Duckworth opens a conversation about the importance of hard work and perseverance, challenging the notion that innate talent is the sole key to success. Chapter 5. Grit Grows. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth explores the dynamic nature of grit, presenting it not as a fixed trait, but as a quality that individuals can develop and enhance throughout their lives. Duckworth outlines 4 key components that contribute to the growth of grit: cultivating interest, practicing deliberately, finding purpose, and adopting a hopeful outlook. Through a combination of research findings, personal anecdotes, and stories of successful individuals, Duckworth provides a comprehensive guide to nurturing one's own grit. Cultivating interest. Duckworth begins by discussing the importance of interest in developing passion, one of the 2 components of grit. She emphasizes that passion for one's work starts with a spark of interest, which then needs to be nurtured and deepened over time. Cultivating interest involves exploration, experimentation, and patience. Duckworth advises allowing oneself the freedom to explore various interests without the pressure of immediate mastery or success. Over time, these interests can evolve into enduring passions that fuel long-term goals. Practicing deliberately. The second strategy for growing grit is the practice of deliberate practice, a concept Duckworth borrows from psychologist Anders Ericsson. Deliberate practice is characterized by setting specific stretch goals, focusing intensely on improving particular aspects of performance, seeking immediate and informative feedback, and embracing the discomfort of leaving one's comfort zone. Duckworth argues that this type of practice not only leads to skill improvement, but also contributes to the perseverance side of grit by instilling a habit of facing and overcoming challenges. Finding purpose. Finding purpose is identified as the third key component for developing grit. Duckworth defines purpose as the intention to contribute to the well-being of others. She argues that when individuals see their work as connected to a greater good, they are more likely to sustain interest and effort over the long term. Finding purpose involves reflecting on how one's personal interests and activities can serve others and make a positive impact on the world. Duckworth suggests that purpose can evolve and deepen over time, as individuals gain more experience and insight into their work and its broader implications. Adopting a hopeful outlook. The fourth and final strategy Duckworth presents is adopting a hopeful outlook. This involves maintaining a growth mindset, a concept developed by Carol Dweck, which is the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. A hopeful outlook also entails learning to overcome obstacles through perseverance and creativity. Duckworth discusses the importance of resilience, framing setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than insurmountable barriers. Throughout the chapter, Duckworth emphasizes that the development of grit is a gradual process that requires conscious effort and reflection. She encourages readers to actively engage with each of the four components, recognizing that setbacks and challenges are part of the journey toward becoming grittier. Grit Grows is a pivotal chapter in Duckworth's book, shifting the narrative from identifying grit as a key factor in success to providing actionable advice on how individuals can cultivate this quality within themselves. Through her detailed exploration of the four components of grit growth, Duckworth offers a roadmap for anyone looking to increase their perseverance and passion for long-term goals, ultimately suggesting that the capacity for extraordinary achievement is within everyone's reach, provided they are willing to work for it. Chapter 6. Interest. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth delves deeper into the concept of interest, which she identifies as the foundational element of passion, one of the two critical components of grit. This chapter is dedicated to exploring how sustained interest is crucial for developing a long-term commitment to goals, which in turn fuels perseverance and achievement. Duckworth offers insights and advice on how to discover, nurture, and deepen one's interests, emphasizing that passion is not discovered through a moment of epiphany, but develop it through a process of exploration and engagement. Discovering interests. Duckworth begins by addressing the challenge many people face in identifying their interests. She suggests that discovery often requires exploration and openness to new experiences. Unlike the romantic notion that passions are found fully formed, Duckworth argues that interests are sparked by exposure to diverse activities, subjects, and fields. She encourages readers to be curious and to give themselves the permission to explore without the pressure of immediate commitment. Developing interests. Once an interest is sparked, the next step is to develop it into a deeper passion. Duckworth emphasizes that this development requires active engagement and persistence. Interests deepen not just through passive exposure but through active involvement and learning. As individuals invest time and effort into exploring their interests, they gain more nuanced understanding and appreciation, which in turn fuels further engagement. Duckworth cautions that this process can be slow and often involves periods of frustration and boredom, which are natural parts of the learning curve. The role of support. Duckworth highlights the importance of support from parents, teachers, mentors, and peers in developing interests. Supportive figures can encourage exploration, provide resources, and offer guidance, making it easier for individuals to engage deeply with their interests. Particularly for young people, encouragement to pursue their interests can play a significant role in the development of passion. The evolution of interest into passion. The chapter also discusses how sustained interests evolve into passions over time. Duckworth explains that as individuals gain mastery and expertise in their area of interest, their engagement becomes increasingly self-reinforcing. This deepening engagement leads to a more profound commitment to the associated goals, embodying the essence of passion as a component of grit. Challenges and persistence. Duckworth acknowledges the challenges in maintaining interest, such as the temptation to switch to new and more exciting pursuits, or the discouragement that can come with obstacles and setbacks. She advises readers to be patient with their interests, allowing them to mature and deepen. Persistence in the face of challenges is crucial for transforming fleeting interests into enduring passions. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth reiterates the importance of interest as the bedrock of passion, urging readers to invest time in exploring and nurturing their interests. She emphasizes that the development of passion is a dynamic and ongoing process, requiring patience, support, and perseverance. By understanding and embracing this process, individuals can lay the foundation for a grittier pursuit of their long-term goals, ultimately achieving a higher level of success and fulfillment. This chapter underscores the message that passion for one's work begins with the cultivation of interest. Duckworth's exploration of how to discover and develop interests provides valuable guidance for anyone looking to ignite their passion and, by extension, enhance their grit in the pursuit of their goals. Chapter 7. Practice. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth expands on the concept of deliberate practice as a key mechanism through which individuals develop grit. She explains that while passion provides the motivational fuel for long-term goals, it is through consistent and focused practice that one acquires the skills necessary to achieve those goals. Duckworth outlines the principles of deliberate practice, a term originally coined by psychologist Anders Ericsson, and explains how it contributes to both skill development and the perseverance aspect of grit. Deliberate practice defined. Duckworth describes deliberate practice as a highly structured activity engaged in with the specific goal of improving performance. Unlike ordinary practice, which might be casual or repetitive without much thought towards improvement, deliberate practice requires focused attention and is conducted with the intention of pushing one's limits. It involves the following key elements: setting specific stretch goals, focusing on just beyond current levels of competence, concentrated focus, paying close attention to the task at hand, minimizing distractions, immediate and informative feedback, using feedback to adjust and improve performance in real time, comfort with being uncomfortable, embracing the discomfort that comes with trying things that are hard. The role of deliberate practice in developing grit. Duckworth argues that engaging in deliberate practice is not only essential for skill development, but also for fostering grit. This type of practice demands a level of discipline and perseverance that reinforces an individual's capacity to work hard and persist in the face of challenges. One of the key insights Duckworth provides is that deliberate practice is often not inherently enjoyable. It requires stepping outside one's comfort zone and involves a considerable amount of effort and concentration. Despite its demanding nature, however, individuals who engage in deliberate practice often find the process rewarding in the long term because of the progress and mastery it yields. How to practice deliberately. Duckworth offers practical advice on how individuals can incorporate deliberate practice into their routine to develop their skills and grit. Start with interest. It's easier to engage in the rigorous demands of deliberate practice if the activity is aligned with one's passions. Seek expert coaching. Coaches or mentors can provide the structured guidance and feedback necessary for effective deliberate practice. Set small, specific goals. Breaking down practice into manageable tasks with clear objectives can help maintain focus and motivation. Embrace discomfort. Recognizing that growth comes from pushing beyond current limits can make the challenges of deliberate practice more acceptable. Reflect and refine. Regular reflection on performance and outcomes can help refine goals and strategies for improvement. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth emphasizes that deliberate practice is a path to excellence and a key element in the cultivation of grit. By committing to the rigorous and focused practice of skills, individuals not only improve their competencies but also strengthen their resolve and capacity to persevere through obstacles. Duckworth's discussion of practice in this chapter underscores the message that while talent may kickstart one's journey, it is grit, fueled by deliberate practice, that propels individuals toward achieving their long-term goals. Chapter 8. Purpose. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth explores the profound impact that having a sense of purpose can have on one's grittiness. Purpose, as Duckworth describes, is the intention to contribute to the well-being of others. She posits that when individuals perceive their work as meaningful and aligned with broader contributions to society, their passion and perseverance, key components of grit, are significantly bolstered. The connection between purpose and grit. Duckworth highlights the intrinsic link between purpose and grit. She suggests that individuals who are driven by a purpose beyond their own personal gain are more resilient and persistent in the face of challenges. Purpose provides a deeper motivation that sustains effort over time, making it a critical factor in the development and maintenance of grit. Discovering purpose. The chapter discusses how purpose is not always immediately apparent and can often be discovered and developed over time. Duckworth provides guidance on how individuals can find their purpose by reflecting on what they are passionate about and considering how their interests and talents can serve others. She emphasizes that purpose often emerges from a combination of personal interests and the recognition of needs in the world that one feels compelled to address. The role of purpose in professional success. Duckworth presents research and stories from various fields to illustrate how a sense of purpose can drive professional success. She shares examples of individuals who have achieved remarkable outcomes, not just because they were skilled or passionate, but because they were motivated by a desire to make a positive impact in the lives of others or contribute to societal progress. These examples serve to underscore the idea that purpose can be a powerful driver of sustained effort and achievement. Purpose and happiness. An interesting aspect of the chapter is the exploration of the relationship between purpose and happiness. Duckworth discusses the distinction between pleasure and fulfillment, noting that while pursuing personal joy is important, it is often the pursuit of purposeful goals that leads to deeper satisfaction and well-being. She argues that engaging in work that benefits others not only fuels grit, but also contributes to a more profound sense of happiness and fulfillment. Cultivating a sense of purpose. Duckworth provides practical advice on how individuals can cultivate a stronger sense of purpose in their lives. She encourages readers to engage in self-reflection to identify passions and how they can address societal needs. Seek out roles and opportunities that align with personal values and the desire to contribute to something larger than oneself. Connect with like-minded individuals or communities that share a commitment to similar purposes. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth reiterates the importance of purpose in enhancing grit. She posits that understanding and embracing a sense of purpose is not only crucial for personal achievement and resilience, but also for contributing to the greater good. By encouraging readers to find and pursue their purpose, Duckworth suggests that individuals can not only achieve greater success, but also lead more meaningful and fulfilling lives. This chapter effectively illustrates the significance of aligning one's efforts with broader contributions to society. Through this exploration, Duckworth enriches the concept of grit by showing how purpose-driven passion and perseverance can lead to extraordinary achievements, both for the individual and for the world at large. Chapter 9. Hope. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth delves into the vital role of hope in sustaining grit. She positions hope not just as wishful thinking, but as a dynamic cognitive process that fuels perseverance and resilience through challenges. Duckworth integrates the concept of a growth mindset, as developed by Carol Dweck, to illustrate how one's belief in the ability to develop and improve through effort can nurture hope and, consequently, grit. The essence of hope. Duckworth defines hope as the expectation that our own efforts can improve our future. Hope, in her framework, is what happens when we face setbacks but choose to keep moving forward, believing that we have the power to affect our outcomes. It's this forward-looking belief that energizes and motivates individuals to persist in their goals, making hope a fundamental component of grit. Growth mindset and hope. Central to Duckworth's discussion of hope is the concept of a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, hard work, and resilience in the face of setbacks. Duckworth explains that individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to maintain hope and keep striving after failures because they see these setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Building hope through challenges. Duckworth argues that hope is strengthened not in the absence of difficulty, but through overcoming challenges. By facing difficulties and learning from failures, individuals develop the confidence that they can exert control over their outcomes. This process reinforces the growth mindset, creating a virtuous cycle where challenges bolster hope, which in turn fuels the perseverance necessary for grit. Strategies for cultivating hope. Duckworth offers practical strategies for cultivating hope and, by extension, grit. Embrace challenges. View challenges as opportunities to grow, rather than threats to avoid. Learn from setbacks. Analyze failures to extract lessons and strategies for improvement. Celebrate effort and progress. Recognize and reward effort and incremental progress, not just outcomes, to reinforce the value of persistence. Practice optimistic self-talk. Replace negative or defeatist thoughts with positive, growth-oriented self-talk. Hope as a renewable resource. An important insight Duckworth provides is the concept of hope as a renewable resource. Unlike finite resources that deplete over time, hope can be replenished and strengthened through mindset and practice. This perspective empowers individuals to cultivate hope actively, making it a powerful tool in the pursuit of long-term goals. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth reiterates that hope is crucial for maintaining the perseverance and passion that define grit. By adopting a growth mindset and viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, individuals can cultivate a resilient hope that propels them forward, even in the face of adversity. This chapter effectively ties together the themes of growth mindset and resilience, providing a compelling argument for the role of optimistic perseverance in achieving success. Duckworth's exploration of hope as both a component and a result of grit offers valuable insights into how individuals can develop the psychological strength to pursue their passions and persevere through obstacles, ultimately achieving their long-term goals. Chapter 10. Parenting for Grit. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth turns her attention to the role parents and guardians can play in cultivating grit in children. She offers a wealth of advice on how to nurture both the passion and perseverance aspects of grit from a young age, emphasizing the importance of supportive parenting that encourages exploration, embraces challenge, and models resilience. Supporting children's interests. Duckworth begins by discussing the importance of supporting children's interests as the seedbeds of passion. She advises parents to observe and nurture their children's natural curiosities and enthusiasms, rather than imposing their own interests or expectations. By providing opportunities for children to explore their interests deeply, parents can help them develop the intrinsic motivation that fuels long-term passion. The hard thing rule. A notable piece of advice Duckworth offers is the implementation of the hard thing rule, which serves multiple purposes in fostering grit. This rule has 3 parts. 1. Everyone in the family must commit to doing a hard thing. This could be any activity that requires daily deliberate practice. 2. You can quit, but not on a whim. Commitments can be ended, but only at a natural stopping point, and not because of the difficulty encountered. 3. You pick your hard thing. Children are given autonomy in choosing their activity, reinforcing the value of pursuing personal interests and commitments. This rule encourages perseverance through practice and teaches children the value of sticking with commitments even when they become challenging. Encouraging practice. Duckworth emphasizes the significance of practice in developing grit. She advises parents to encourage regular, deliberate practice, helping children understand that improvement comes from consistent effort over time. Parents should also teach children how to set specific, achievable goals within their practice routines to foster a sense of progress and achievement. Teaching perseverance through difficulties. An essential part of developing grit is learning to persevere through challenges and failures. Duckworth suggests that parents can help their children build resilience by framing difficulties as opportunities for learning rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Sharing stories of personal or familial challenges that were overcome through perseverance can also provide powerful examples for children to emulate. Modeling grit. Duckworth highlights the importance of modeling grit as parents. Children learn a great deal from observing how their parents and other adults in their lives face challenges, recover from setbacks, and pursue their own passions with perseverance. By demonstrating grit in their actions and attitudes, parents can provide a living example of what it means to live a gritty life. The balance of support and challenge. Finally, Duckworth discusses the delicate balance between offering support and posing challenges to children. She advocates for a parenting style that provides unconditional support and love, while also setting high expectations and encouraging children to step out of their comfort zones. This balance, she argues, helps children develop the confidence and resilience needed for grit. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth reiterates that fostering grit in children is a nuanced process that involves encouraging their interests, supporting their practice efforts, teaching them to overcome challenges, and modeling grit through parental behavior. She acknowledges that while there's no one-size-fits-all approach to parenting for grit, the principles she outlines can guide parents in helping their children develop the passion and perseverance that will serve them throughout their lives. This chapter provides valuable insights and practical advice for parents and guardians seeking to nurture grit in their children. By focusing on supporting interests, encouraging deliberate practice, teaching resilience, and modeling gritty behavior, parents can play a pivotal role in developing the qualities that contribute to long-term success and fulfillment. Chapter 11. The Playing Fields of Grit. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth explores the vital role of extracurricular activities in developing grit. She posits that activities outside the academic curriculum, such as sports, music, arts, and other clubs, serve as important arenas for young people to learn and practice the elements of grit, passion, perseverance, and resilience. Duckworth argues that these extracurricular environments offer unique opportunities for individuals to engage in deliberate practice, face challenges, and cultivate long-term interests. Key components of grit. The value of extracurricular activities. Duckworth highlights several reasons why extracurricular activities are particularly effective in fostering grit. Self-selection. Individuals often choose activities based on their interests, which enhances motivation and engagement. Structured challenges. Extracurriculars provide a framework for setting specific goals, receiving feedback, and improving skills through deliberate practice. Social support. Teams and clubs create a community of peers and mentors who can offer encouragement, advice, and a sense of belonging. Opportunities for leadership. As participants progress, they often have opportunities to take on leadership roles, which can further deepen their commitment and sense of purpose. Stories of grit on the field and stage. Through compelling anecdotes and examples, Duckworth illustrates how various extracurricular activities have been instrumental in developing grit in young people. She shares stories of athletes who overcame obstacles and setbacks to achieve greatness, musicians who dedicated countless hours to mastering their instruments, and students who pursued interests in areas like debate or robotics with passion and perseverance. These examples underscore the common thread of grit that runs through successful endeavors in any field. The role of passion in extracurricular engagement. Duckworth discusses how extracurricular activities can ignite and nurture passion. Unlike academic subjects, which might be mandated, extracurriculars allow students to follow their interests, leading to a more intrinsic form of motivation. Over time, this engagement deepens into a passion that fuels long-term commitment and effort, a key aspect of grit, overcoming challenges and building resilience. Another critical lesson from extracurricular activities is the experience of facing and overcoming challenges. Duckworth points out that setbacks and failures are common in these pursuits, whether it's losing a game, facing rejection from a play, or struggling to learn a difficult piece of music. The process of bouncing back from these setbacks, guided by coaches, instructors, and peers, teaches resilience and perseverance. The importance of commitment. Duckworth emphasizes the importance of commitment to extracurricular activities, arguing that sticking with an activity over time, even in the face of challenges, is a critical practice ground for developing grit. She suggests that longer-term commitments are more beneficial for grit development than shorter, more transient engagements. Encouraging grit through extracurriculars. To parents, educators, and mentors, Duckworth offers advice on how to use extracurricular activities as a tool for developing grit in young people. She advocates for encouraging children to choose activities that truly interest them, supporting them through the challenges they face, and emphasizing the value of persistence and effort over innate talent or immediate success. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth reiterates the significant role of extracurricular activities in developing grit. She suggests that the lessons learned on the playing fields, in rehearsal rooms, and at club meetings are not just about the activities themselves, but about developing the qualities, passion, perseverance, and resilience that enable individuals to pursue their goals with grit. Chapter 11. The Playing Fields of Grit offers a compelling argument for the value of extracurricular activities as a practical and accessible means for anyone to cultivate grit in their lives. Chapter 12. A Culture of Grit. In this chapter, Angela Duckworth expands the discussion of grit to a broader context, exploring how organizations, institutions, and societies can create cultures that nurture and promote grit. She argues that the development of grit goes beyond individual effort and is significantly influenced by the surrounding environment. Through a focus on leadership, social norms, and collective beliefs, Duckworth illustrates how a culture of grit can be cultivated, thereby enhancing the perseverance and passion of its members towards achieving common goals. The role of leadership. Duckworth emphasizes the pivotal role of leaders in shaping a culture of grit. Leaders who exemplify grit through their own actions set a powerful example for others to follow. By demonstrating passion for long-term goals and resilience in the face of setbacks, leaders can inspire a similar work ethic and mindset in their team members. Duckworth highlights that effective leaders also articulate a clear and compelling vision that aligns with the interests and values of their group, fostering a shared sense of purpose that is crucial for sustaining collective effort over time. Establishing social norms. The chapter discusses how social norms within a group or organization play a critical role in fostering grit. Norms that prioritize hard work, perseverance, and dedication to long-term objectives encourage individuals to adopt these behaviors and attitudes. Duckworth points out that when members of a community see their peers engaging in gritty behavior, it becomes more acceptable and desirable to do the same. This social reinforcement helps to cultivate a culture where striving for excellence and persisting through challenges are valued and practiced. Collective beliefs and values. Duckworth also delves into the importance of collective beliefs and values in creating a culture of grit. She argues that when an organization or society holds strong beliefs in the importance of effort, learning from failure, and the potential for growth, these values become embedded in its culture. This shared belief system can empower individuals to take on challenges, persist in the face of difficulties, and continually strive for improvement, knowing that their efforts are supported and valued by the larger community. Strategies for cultivating a culture of grit. The chapter provides concrete strategies for organizations and societies looking to cultivate a culture of grit. Promote a growth mindset. Encourage the belief that abilities and talents can be developed through dedication and hard work. Highlight stories of perseverance. Share narratives of individuals who have overcome obstacles and achieved success through persistence to inspire and motivate others. Reward effort and progress. Recognize and celebrate the hard work and incremental achievements that contribute to larger goals, rather than focusing solely on outcomes. Foster a sense of purpose. Connect individual and collective efforts to a greater purpose, emphasizing how each person's contributions help achieve shared objectives. In concluding the chapter, Duckworth reiterates that while individual efforts are crucial, the culture of an organization or society plays a significant role in shaping how individuals approach challenges and pursue their goals. By fostering a culture of grit through leadership, social norms, and collective beliefs, communities can empower their members to achieve higher levels of success and fulfillment. This chapter underscores the importance of creating environments that support and encourage the development of grit. Duckworth's insights into how organizational and societal cultures can be shaped to promote perseverance and passion provide valuable guidance for leaders, educators, and policymakers, aiming to foster resilience and achievement within their communities. Conclusion. Duckworth concludes by reiterating the importance of grit in achieving long-term goals. She encourages readers to cultivate grit within themselves and to foster it in others, arguing that doing so can lead to greater success and fulfillment. Throughout the book, Duckworth blends research findings with personal anecdotes and stories of successful individuals to illustrate the power of grit. She provides a persuasive argument that passion and perseverance are crucial components of success, offering practical advice for developing these qualities in oneself and others. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Your support means the world to us. Click subscribe and hit the bell to be the first to enjoy our upcoming audiobooks. Together, let's continue this amazing journey through stories and tales.